In this video I'm going to show you how to make a simple health pickup system and also some actors that knock health off you if you walk into them. I'm going to start by making the actual health pickup itself. So I'm going to create a new blueprint class called health pickup, and I'm going to first of all add a sphere just to visually represent our pickup, and then I'm also going to add a sphere collision just so that when you walk into it, it will trigger off our overlap event. And you notice the sphere collision isn't visible. It's because it's too small. It sits inside of the visible sphere here. So I'm just going to change it so that it's scaled up twice the size. I've got the padlock on there, so it scales it up in 3 dimensions. So you can see now the outline there showing where our collision or the overlap event will be triggered from. So I'm going to pop one of these into the world like so, and I'm also just going to change its blueprint here so that when we overlap the actor, it'll just print a message out, picked up health, just so we can check it works. So let's just run this and see if we get that message. There we are, you can see in the top corner there, picked up health, so we know that works. Now, one problem you might get with this is that if, for example, you had some objects in your level that also generated overlap events, so for example, this sphere I've just dragged on, we're going to simulate its physics and we're going to tell it to generate overlap events. What you'll find is if we push this ball into the health pickup here, it will actually trigger off our pickup message. You see there? So that's no good because you might have other things in your level that accidentally pick up the health, other enemies and other things that might be sort of moving around your game. So we need to filter out other things that might bump into our pickup. So we can do this just by checking what the other actor is in our pickup. So this little pin here, other actor, we could either check to see whether it's equal to our player character, so you could use get player character and you could check for it being equal to the player character. If it is, then you can branch and print our message like so. So this time you can see we can pick up the health, but if we push this ball into it here, we don't get any message. So that works. Now that's fine, it works just as we want. However, it may be that you want to work on a multiplayer game, and this would only ever work with the first player character. If you had several characters, it wouldn't work. It would only ever give the player 0, the first player, access to those pickups. So you could alternatively use get class and check that the class of our other actor, as in the blueprint that it's based upon from the content browser, is equal to our player character. So first person character, we'll use that one here, so we can check that it's equal to first person character. If it is, then we'll run our branch condition on the true pin. So that's just a slightly more robust way if you're doing sort of multiplayer pickups to check for that. So again, we should see we can still pick it up, but the ball, when we do that with it, it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so we know that our pickup works. What we're going to do next is add the health properties to our player. So we're going to open their blueprint, and you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff in here already to do with the control of that character. But we're going to first of all add a new variable, and we're going to call this variable health, and we're going to choose the type as a floating point number, so a decimal number. Like that. So we just need to compile. So we then can access our default value, and let's say our default value is, say, 100. Now some people like to just use a value between 0 and 1, but in this case we'll just use a number like 100 to represent our full health. We're going to then create a custom event. So add custom event, and we're going to call this one Pickup Health. To then add the value to our health, we're going to first of all find out what our health value is. We're going to add float plus float. We're going to add another 10 because we'll say that our pickup is worth 10 health points. And what we then might want to do is, because imagine if you got your health and we had, say, a maximum health of 100, we wouldn't want it going over that 100 value. So let's, for example, start our health at 60. And once we come from here, we can use something called clamp float. And we could say our minimum value is 0, but our maximum value is going to be 100. So once we've clamped that value somewhere between 0 and 100, we're then going to set the value of health to its new value once we've added that extra 10 onto it. Now you could use another variable to specify what the maximum health value is as well. You could have like a max health variable you set up there. That's probably a slightly better way of doing it, but for now we'll just hard code a value of 100 in. And then we'll do a final print string, and we'll say that our new health, actually what we'll do here is, rather than just printing like that, we'll use append. That just lets us add or combine two bits of text together. So new health equals, and then we'll grab our return value from that, so that it'll just display in the output what our new health is. So compile and save that. Okay, so back to our health pickup. We've printed a string, we've picked up the health. The next thing we need to do is cast to our first person. So cast first person character. This means that we can then access the pickup health function that we just made, the pickup health event. And we need to also, on this cast first person character, we need to pass it the actor that initiated that overlap event, which would be the first person, so we're checking for that here. You can actually skip this part if you need to, because the cast would fail otherwise, so you could just bypass the branch at this stage here if you wanted to. So cast first person character, we've picked up our health. once we pick the health up, we perhaps want to play a sound, play sound at location, and we'll just, there's a glitch on my computer here, we'll find a sound from here. So if we just go show engine content, and let's see, there's some built-in editor sounds here. We could use this, perhaps this compile success sound here, just so we've got a little noise to play. And then once we've picked up our health, obviously we want it to disappear then, assuming that it's a health pickup that vanishes once you've collected it. So we're going to check first of all that it's the first person character that's overlapped with our health pickup. If it is, we're going to cast to that first person character and try and run its health pickup event. Once we've done that, we're going to play a sound, and then we're going to destroy the health pickup altogether. Let's see if this works. There we are, and our health has disappeared, our pickup's disappeared, and we notice briefly that we had got a bit of extra health. So let's just replicate our pickup a few times, and we should then be able to check to see whether our maximum health is being capped at 100. So we'll just walk through this. So we've gone up to 70 health, yep, 80 health, 90 health, 100 health, and now it's just basically destroying those actors because we've reached our maximum health value there. Now again, you could put extra checks in there to see whether or not you can pick up those health packs. If you've got maximum health, it's you might want to make it a little easier on the player so they don't accidentally pick up more health than they can carry. We can also just test again to make sure this ball here doesn't accidentally pick up the health packs. You can see there that it doesn't. So we know our health is working. Now the next thing we want to do is make our essentially our hazards, that if we walk into them they'll knock health off of us. So the way that I set up the health pickup was using a custom event. However, Unreal has got a system in here, a damage system already built in, which is really useful actually. So I'll show that in the next clip.